Hi guys, so I'm going to show you how you can really stylise your image in the style of Opie. There's quite a few ways in which you can do this. First one is I'm going to open up my image in Photoshop. What I should see, if I open up in Photoshop, I should see something like this where you possibly have a background but I have my image in here. I'm then going to create a new layer, which is this bottom right hand side. It's a little box with a plus in it. You will see it usually gets titled to layer 1. I'm then going to go to my left little toolbar and go down to the brush tool, which is just above halfway. Go to the brush tool, make sure my colour down here is black. If it is not, you can just click on this little icon above it here and that will default it for you. Now you can change your brush. I wouldn't go any bigger than 20 typically for this style, but again it's entirely up to you. The smaller your brush, the more detail you'll be able to get in there, and perhaps having things in like eyelashes. If you want it to be really quite stylised and cartoon-like, then you can go a little bit bigger with your brush size. Now obviously my image is not great, I've just got this off of Google to show you as an example. Yours will be of much better quality as it's one that you've taken yourself. Now, I would recommend that you zoom in and do this in sections. To zoom in, you can press Command plus, Control plus, or you can go to Image and Zoom, or View and Zoom. And again, I'm just going to start off sketching out around my face. Now, I am using my trackpad for this, just on my laptop. If you're using a mouse, it's slightly easier. Now you can see here I've made a mistake, so I can just go to my eraser tool and I can rub that out. I might want to zoom in a little bit more. Again, you can see quality isn't great, but the idea is the same. So I can then go, and obviously you can spend a little bit more time on this than I am. I can match the two of them up, and then I can use my eraser tool again to tidy up any areas that I need to. So again, it's just going to be a case of zooming out and zooming in, seeing what works for you. Again, you can always go back and use your eraser tool if need be. And to go around her hairline, I want to draw in front of her ear. I'm going to draw the earring. Again, you can keep it really quite stylised and put in as much or as little detail as possible. So I do want to get some definition in the ear. Again, you can really take your time with it and go back as always to your eraser tool, and you can tidy up any areas that need it. I'm going to keep going and do again as much or as little detail as possible, depending on how stylised you want it. There are some cases where you don't do the facial features at all, so I wouldn't have any eyes or lips in there. Perhaps you might just want to emphasise something, so I might have all of her hair, her ear, etc., and just her lips. I might leave out the nose and the mouth, depending on the look that you want to go for. Again, that is entirely up to you. So say I'm going to zoom in and do the lips initially. I'm then going to show you how you can start to add colour. Now again, if I had a slightly thinner brush, it would look a little bit more delicate. You are able to control the quality of the line. So again, it's entirely up to you how you would like this to look. The thinner the brush, the more delicate it is going to look. Again, there's no right or wrong, it's whatever kind of style you prefer. So you get that idea. I'm going to be really quite stylistic in my approach. So I've got this on a new layer, so it means that if I take away the visibility of my image, you can see there if I need to tidy up any sections. Now, what you will be able to see is if there's any areas that aren't joined up. So if I don't have the beginning of my line joined up right to the end, what it means is it's going to fill in the area as a whole. So for example, if I didn't close these lines on my lips when I went to colour in, or fill in the colour rather, it would then fill in my complete face, which is not what we want. So make sure your lines are joined up and you'll be able to see that, taking away the visibility of that line there. Now again, to get the kind of tones and colours that I am looking for, I'm going to use my little paint dropper tool or eyedropper. Again, it is down on the left hand side here. You can see it looks like a little pipette, so I'm going to click on that. Now if I click on an area of her skin, I can see that it comes up on this bottom left, so where my colours are, again depending on the colour that I want to go for. say I am happy with that one. I'm going to then go to my paint bucket tool. Now you might find that initially it looks like this, so it may look like a gradient, which is not what we want. So if you click and hold this down, it will then go to your paint bucket tool. I can then click on this area here. Now you can see that it's filled my entire screen, which is not what we want. So in order for it just to fill the section that we need, I'm going to Command Z and go back. I am then going to make sure that contiguous here is clicked, and I can click and fill, and you'll see that it'll only fill in the area that I want. I'm then going to go back to my eyedropper tool. I want to get the colour of her lips. I'm going to click and fill here, and again you can see that it's only going to fill in the sections that I need. Then I'm going to go and fill her teeth in white, so I just need to go back to my paint bucket, click and fill, and you can see that it starts to come up. Now if you find, for example, I want to fill in my ear the same colour as I've done skin tone here, I just go back to my eyedropper, I can pick up that colour and then again fill in. Now what you'll be able to see is when I click and fill in this ear, it should fill in this whole section here and leave this piece blank, which you can see here. And again I can just click and fill. So it's going to be the exact same technique for every step that you want to do. Again, you can pop in as many features and detail as you wish. Just make sure that when you are clicking and filling your areas that you have the contiguous box text at the top here, and it will only fill in your specific sections. So I hope this video helps. Again, there's apps on the next few slides that can give you a really kind of stylized effect, but this is how you can create it in Photoshop.